no expert. We're going to talk about the main event of UFC 249, which is obviously Tony Ferguson, El Cucuy, he's the boogeyman, versus Justin Gaethje, and forgive me, I don't remember his nickname. But anyways, Gaethje's filling in for Khabib. As we all know, the Khabib-Ferguson fight is truly cursed. It has been attempted to have been made about 5 times, and each time it has been canceled for some reason. So we get Gaethje. He's game. He's ready. He's on a win streak. He's hot. And he feels like he's got what it takes to take down the boogeyman, El Cucuy, Tony Ferguson. Ferguson is, he's doing it right. He's playing it right. He's got himself in the spotlight. His name is out there, and he's making the most of it. He doesn't need Khabib to make himself popular, famous, make himself money, or advance his career. Yes, we all want to see that fight. It may never happen, and this fight is exciting as it is. Now, Ferguson is only fighting once a year for the past few years, but his fights are significant and they're exciting. His fight on the Khabib-Conor undercard versus Pettis, man, that fight was something else. He got the win out of that. We all seen him. I mean, the way he does his thing. He rolls, he tumbles, he gets out of the way of trouble. He's unorthodox. He jumps off the cage with his punches. He just is crazy. He's got those crazy shin kicks. I mean, the dude is ruthless, relentless, tactical, technical, unorthodox, effective. I mean, he's everything you want to see in an MMA fighter. That's why he's so popular. That's why he's one of the fan favorites. You hear comments about Ferguson on the internet and memes about Ferguson that are like kind of on par with those Chuck Norris memes, if you know what I'm talking about. So you got that kind of level of wonder and mystery surrounding Ferguson, that he's this like mythical MMA fighter. And then you got Gaethje. He's like the ultimate underdog, the ultimate comeback kid. I mean, he lost to Poirier, and then since that when he fought James Vick was on a hot streak. Vick was on a win streak going into that fight with Justin Gaethje. And I was actually there at that fight, and not that matters, but I was there, and you've seen it on TV too. James Vick is coming in. He's got that swag that he tries to like put forth. Maybe, I don't know. He has a whole thing like very confident, cocky, and at that time he was on a win streak, and Gaethje was kind of definitely the underdog, and Gaethje slept him nasty. And since Gaethje did that to him, since Gaethje knocked out James Vick, Vick has lost. He's gone on a losing streak since then. He got popped. He got cracked open. Gaethje popped him open, and he's been knocked out twice since then and had a decision loss. Gaethje started that, and then Gaethje went from there, and he beat Edson Barboza. Like, he's durable. He takes hits, and then he just comes back, and what he's bringing back is he's putting people to sleep. Like, Gaethje's hitting power is scary for anybody in his division, and probably anybody even a couple divisions higher than him. I mean, that dude is punching hard. So, he lost to Poirier, and he went on an absolute terror, like a win streak of just putting fear in the heart of the people in his division. Obviously, Tony Ferguson is not afraid. People fear him, so this matchup is maybe even more entertaining than the Khabib fight would have been for Tony. I think because the nature of Gaethje's knockout potential, that this is a little bit even more of a strategy-wise, tactics-wise, a scarier fight for Ferguson, because if he's willing to take damage, he's a warrior. He likes to give and take, and if he gets caught by those Gaethje hits, it might be lights out. He might not have time to fire back. I mean, they both fought Cerrone, and Cerrone stopped, that fight. I was at that fight too. I'm so lucky to have been at those fights, by the way. But anyways, I'm still no expert. But the Ferguson versus Cerrone, I mean, Cerrone, we talked about it. He blew his nose or whatever in between rounds. And it caused, the punches caused the swelling and the broken, internal workings that made that reaction happen, where he blew his nose between rounds and his face swelled up and the doctor had to stop it. But Gaethje stopped him more convincingly. It wasn't because his face was too swollen to fight, like he stopped him. It doesn't really matter. They have common opponents. And they Michael Johnson being one common opponent. He beat Ferguson. Gaethje was able to stop him. But that I like to do common opponents because it is the one factor where you can compare and contrast equally. How did they do against that particular individual? But they're both on win streaks. Gaethje is a little bit more active though in the last couple of years. Like I said, Ferguson only fighting one time a year. He fought in 2019 versus Cerrone. He fought in 2019 versus Pettis. Whereas Gaethje's been more active and he's been destroying his. I mean, they both destroy their opponents, but Gaethje's is fierce. Took the lid off of James Vick. Vick ain't never been the same since. Knocked out Barbosa after dealing with a lot of pressure from Barbosa. Came at him with those high kicks, and he came at him fast and strong. And Gaethje's got a head like a solid freaking rock. He comes back and he takes your hit and he knocks you out. Then he's just on a high win streak and he's riding momentum and he's got nothing to lose in this fight. He's got less to lose, less pressure on him than Ferguson does. Ferguson was, he's got the emotional up and down, the roller coaster of, am I going to fight Khabib? The fight is postponed. Now I'm going to fight Gaethje. Now the fight is postponed again. And he did that thing where he made weight on the fight, the date of the fight, just to prove that he could have made weight despite the fight being pushed back even further. So he kept himself in shape. And Gaethje, he didn't have anything ready, but he stays in shape, so he stepped in. So he's coming in as the underdog again. He's looking for another upset, convincing victory, and an even bigger payday should he secure the win against basically whoever he wants in that division. So styles make matchups, styles make fights, and this is a perfect matchup, the perfect style fight to entertain the fans. UFC is back. And we don't have to talk about old reruns and shit anymore. We got something new to look forward to this evening. The prelim card is stacked. The main card is stacked, despite people having to drop out due to, I think someone tested positive for COVID. But anyways, Ferguson versus Gaethje. If you're a betting person and you like the long odds, you like the underdog, Gaethje's on a hot streak. But Ferguson, man, he's something else. He's super dynamic. And he's no slouch either. He can take some hits too. I mean, these are two tough individuals who like to finish their opponents with extreme prejudice and viciousness and relentlessness. And man, I'm having trouble. I'm having a tough time picking this one. My mind wants to say Ferguson, but my heart wants to say Gaethje. What should I listen to? My mind or my heart? Damn. I'm going to pick Ferguson in an all-out brawl, like a bloodbath of a fucking brawl, and you're going to see this is what MMA is all about. This is what combat sports is all about, and these are what two determined athletes, individuals can do on a stage where it's as fairly matched as possible. This is a beautiful thing about MMA and combat sports. Ferguson versus Gaethje. I'm going with Ferguson. I'm going to go with my head on this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gaethje hit a home run and just continues on that hot streak. So I'm no expert. You tell me what you think, and we'll talk about the end result of all this later on after all. And I appreciate you guys. You